Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to lecture number 7 on core concepts of marketing. Today we are going to learn about um, some more core concepts of marketing. Let's have a review of what we learned in the last session. We learned about meta markets, we understood what digital markets, we also understood what the brick and click model is. So meta markets is basically looking at the activities of a customer and bringing products from various industries that will satisfy a particular need of a customer. We looked at examples of Bajaj. Digital markets, we understood how e-commerce has been transformed. So there is a slight bit of a difference, but the entire industry as soon is called a digital market. So we have seen a transformation from the physical market to a digital market, and then we talked about the brick and click model, wherein uh, the physical existence of a store or entity and the digital presence. So this is a combination of both, which we studied, which is also called as a hybrid distribution channel, which we could call it term as. We'll look at these concepts in detail as we move forward. Today we're going to learn about the role and function of marketing, and we'll be looking at the various marketing functions which it does. So we're going to understand what does marketing do. Okay, this is what we're going to understand. The basic role of marketing is revenue generation. So it's a bread earner of the organization. This revenue generation is the main. There are various departments in the organization. You've got finance, we've got HR, we've got operations, but the role of a bread earner or to bring in revenue, this is done by marketing. The second major function is decision making. Now, because marketing is all about satisfying wants and needs of the customer, it has got an interaction with the market. So it's a bridge between what's happening in the market and what needs to be done in the company or within the organization to satisfy those wants. So basically, whatever happens in the market lays a foundation of what decisions need to be made in the for the company to move forward. Yes, there needs to be innovation and change because the markets are changing, and understanding those changes or trends in the market lays the foundation for the innovation and change in the organization as such. So designing products in the future, everything comes from the insights which is provided from the marketing department or the marketing function. So these are basically three functions which marketing does: is revenue generation, decision making, and then innovation and change based on the information or the data which is gathered. So we are moving into the age of big data, and I feel this particular function would be very critical for any organization to go in the future if they lay a lot, if they use this data in the right way, they're going to make the right decisions and come up with more innovative and products which would give them a strategic advantage. This is what would be current trend in this particular industry is. Now, revenue generation is basically everything works on until unless we don't have revenue, we cannot run an organization. So this is basic function. We're going to elaborate on this particular point. So revenue generation is basically selling the product and getting revenue. Okay, so this is the major function. It's not only in selling the product or taking the product to the market and getting money. It doesn't stop on that. There are other things. Firstly, which you need to look is there needs to be a growth in the sales. So every year we see that there would be very ambitious targets which the company takes on. So revenue generation has to come from various streams. So it has to be coming from sales growth. Second is market expansion. It is to look for new opportunities where we can go and sell the products. So market expansion is one of the functions which is stars. Then profit maximizing, finding out ways of reducing cost and maximizing profits. So finding out markets where you could sell your product at a cheaper rate, finding out distribution channels where the costs could be reduced. All these things are basically now comes under the marketing function. The second role what it plays is about decision making. So decision making is how manufacturing related to manufacturing, because how much is needed in the market. So the decisions would be what to produce, okay, decisions regarding when to produce, decisions regarding how much to produce, and decisions regarding for whom to produce. So because marketing is not a function in isolation, everything is based on what happens in the market. So if the customer wants a product, what is the product it wants, when does he want it, how much does he want it, all these play a critical role in the decision making or the production planning, the finance part of it, the operations part of it. All these decisions would be based on the insight provided by the marketing. We look at the third important role, which is marketing interface, wherein the company has got its own corporate goals and objectives, which is basically very closely derived from the marketing objective. So you find the corporate goals and market objective, basically all the rules would be interrelated, but that would be majorly driven from the marketing objectives of the company, or be extracted from it. So the marketing objective, the financial objective, the production objectives, and R&D objectives, all these things culminate together, and basically we have to have an interaction with all these departments, and the interface needs to be done. So marketing, being the revenue generator, would set in line all the objectives for the other departments. The next basic thing is function would be innovation and change. Now, change. There are various changes which take place in the market, and based on that, the innovation needs to be initiated in the organization. So there is change in the lifestyle of the customer, there is change in the behavior of the customer, there is change in the style, there is change in the preferences of the customer, there is change in the taste of the preferences, there is change in the fashions of the. There are many other changes which we will be looking on when we go into the pestle analysis and SWOT analysis. But this overall, to understand what the role of marketing is, I'm giving you an overview of this. So basically what you need to do is you need to come up with new customers, you have to come up with new products, you have to come up with new markets, you have to identify new methods and new procedures. So this all based on the changes which take place in the market. The companies have to innovate. Rather, it would be the other. It can also be the other way around, wherein the company innovates a very unique product and then actually would have an influence in the market. So, but this is done. This is done wherein companies got a very sound technology and is far ahead of the market needs. So, but then it has to make it relevant to the current market situation. Look at marketing functions. So marketing functions basically can be classified into three groups: the exchange function, the physical distribution function, and the function of facilities. Under the function of exchange, the buying function, the assembling function, the selling function is done. And the function of physical distribution, transportation, inventory management, warehousing, and material handling is done. Under the functions of facilities, financing, risk-taking, standardization, and after-sales services. This is a basic overview of what functions what are the marketing functions which are done in the Although here it looks as a very small function, so transportation function is a huge function, the buying function is again a huge function. So we look at these in detail. The function wherein the buying function, assembling function, and the selling function, we've already understood how they are interrelated to the basic marketing function. Now let's talk about the physical supply. So we have already looked at how marketing creates demand. So one of the function is the place function. So transporting the product from where it is manufactured to the place where it is consumed. This particular function comes under the marketing function. It also has to maintain enough inventory at various locations of the point of consumption. The material handling and this is again a sub part of the transportation function, the warehousing. So you need to maintain a proper supply of the product at various locations around the various distribution channels. So under that we have to have a warehousing, then you need to do inventory management, transport the product. So basically the function of physical distribution can be sub-classified into these four categories. All these come under the marketing function. Now there's a major change in this trend because marketing, logistics, and this being a very specialized function which has come up, various supply chain companies are coming into existence. So the burden on marketing can be reduced and it can focus on its core activities. The facilitating function is here because a customer, when he comes to buy a product, there are many other needs which would be required. So basically, he would need finance to buy the product. He needs to understand what is the standard in the grading function. This again comes in the product standardization function. The comparison with other products would take place. The risk-taking function wherein, because the product needs to be stored and kept, it is manufactured in between. So this risk-taking function is undertaken by the marketer. And after the product is sold, say for example, if you buy a TV, so after sales service of installation and even maintenance of the function comes under the marketing function. Marketing function is actually is engulfed, or like it says, basically you find it in every aspect of the business. So I'll give you an overview of what marketing function is. It starts from product planning, so what to produce, when to produce, how to produce, what changes needs to be done, what is the additions or subtractions, what extra could be given to the product, how to decisions regarding the packing and grading of the product needs to be done. That is also a function. Product pricing function comes under it. The advertising and sales promotion function is again a marketing function. The distribution function and the market research function and the sales force function. So all these functions come under are the sub functions of the marketing function, and each of these is again a specialized field of marketing. Say I'll give you, because all these sub-units are pretty elaborate, I'd like to give you an example of marketing function. So in marketing function, what you need to do is you need to research on what is the current trend which is going into the market. So if I need to know how are people buying, okay, how many of the percentage of people are buying your product online, how many of you are buying in store, how many of them are buying from a particular institute, all these information will be critical, and all this information is gathered together by the marketing department, and then it is used for decision making, right? So this is how the marketing research which is taking place. Um, this particular chapter, wherein lecture, I gave you an overview of what marketing function is. It wasn't a very elaborate detail of each and every function, but I just wanted to give you an overview of what are the various functions and what are the role of marketing and how these functions are interrelated to the other functions in the organization. I hope it was very helpful. Please share your comments on it, and if you've got any doubts, you could get back to me. I'll definitely reply. Thank you, like and share, and you could even subscribe to the channel. Thank you.